It's mail day, so I've got some stuff I need to unbox, but first, I owe a couple of people an apology, starting, of course, with one Raspberry James, who sent me all of this stuff about a month ago, and I meant to do a video on it, and I did do a video on it, and then I got a new SSD, and I was trying to migrate everything over to the new SSD, and I somehow managed to lose his video. So, this is all the stuff he sent me, and here is the pretty little note, which I will read the beginning of. It has a nice little sans right there, so you can tell they're a big fan of Undertale. It reads, "Dear Walcom, I'm a big fan of your work, even the paint jobs are neat, or at least better than what I could do. You know, I do terrible paint jobs, it's mostly just practice at this point. Though I plan to one day paint a Jolt to look like a Temmie and call it Bob. And since you opened a P.O. box, I felt obligated to send you this care package, if you can call it that. And I wanted to mention some things. Although I found your channel through Coop, or was it Bobololo, I forget. I don't think it could have been through Coop unless it was a suggested video. Bobololo did give me a shout out once, but it was a very, very long time ago, so I kind of doubt it was anything other than just a recommended video. I found that your channel was my favorite nerfing channel, small as it may be, not trying to be a kiss-up. Although, you know, flattery will get you everywhere, Raspberry James. Also, if you could give me some tips on painting Nerf blasters that can withstand a dart war, that would be great. And I also wanted to mention that after watching your tag back videos on Snap R8, I bought one from Toys R Us as soon as I could and reviewed it the day it came in the mail. Thing was, it didn't fire properly at the entire time, and it got about half the distance it should have gotten. And I said it wasn't as good as I hoped it would be. Once I found out how to fire it properly, I was instantly hooked, and I might use it on my sidearm in Dart Wars if I go to one. And I thank you for that. Here's my channel, which I will have in the description box below, so you can check out Raspberry James's content. Now, to paint a Nerf blaster that is going to withstand a dart war, you need to have a lot of clear coat on it and have a well-applied paint job. Now, with the paint job I'm literally currently doing right now, which is drying over there as I speak, and trust me, you'll see the final product of everything I've done in the last 3 months very soon. Well, that has no less than 5 layers of paint on it, you know, 2 primer, and then just paint on top of paint on top of paint on top of paint. So the best way to make sure that stays good is not only have, you know, lots of paint and whatnot, but then have a good clear coat. The best one usually is the 2K clear coat, which is what you use on cars, which is what gives them the depth, and then of course that very, very nice lacquered finish on them that is very strong, but it's also very expensive, and personally my paint jobs are never going to be good enough to warrant using that, so I just do a couple of layers of, you know, Rust-Oleum 2X clear coat and let it dry and put on another layer, let it dry. I put on 3 or 4 layers of that to make sure. And I also try to paint my blasters so when they do get scuffed, because they're going to get scuffed eventually, if you want something to stay pristine, don't use it in a war. But of course, you don't want that to happen because you painted it because you want to use it. Just expect it to get scuffed. But I do mine in a way like my base color on top of primer is silver. So when my blaster gets scuffed, it scrapes down the silver, which looks like metal, which looks good unless I gash it on concrete really good. And even then, most of the time, the paint will hold up. So just be diligent with it. But, of course, he sent me all this stuff, and we're going to start with the Jolt I already showed off in a different video, or the Stinger in this case, which is the knockoff Shoot brand Stingers, which he said he found at Five Below for just a couple of dollars. These things are pretty cool for one good reason. Now, this is the color of the Stinger I am missing, although it is not the Stinger I am missing. I'm still looking for a blue Stinger. And, well, it's not perfect, but it's a very good clone. Such a good clone that if you take the outer shell off, which I have already undone the screws on, you will see it literally says Jolt on it. It even has the same camo stuff that Nerf always has. It is literally their stuff. Complete mold knockoff and everything, which is hilarious. And now I gotta put that back together, which is not going to be fun. But of course, he already sent me some other stuff as well. How about a Sonic Fire barrel break? Now, he said in the letter that he took this thing apart and he couldn't get it back together quite right, and that's pretty evident if you prime it and fire it. It doesn't have the stacking trigger anymore, and this side doesn't shoot all that well. I could fix that. He also included the dart holder, which I never had any of, and it's in that beautiful N-Strike orange. I'm quite happy with this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I went from having no barrel breaks in just a couple of months to having pretty much all of them. I think the only one I'm missing is the Sonic barrel break at this point. I love me some shotguns. Now, he did send me this, which he said is a replica of the Fallen Child's blade from Undertale, which I'm guessing is the weapon you get at the end of the game if you do a genocide run. This is very, very rigid. It actually kind of hurts, and it's not enough space for me to ever use it in an actual war, unfortunately, because it's meant to be attached to a foregrip, which is what this Velcro system is. But I wouldn't want to, I mean, maybe barrel tap somebody with it, but I would never want to use it on like an actual barrel and risk actually jabbing somebody with my barrel. So I don't think I will ever use this, but it is a nice boffer. It's got a rigid core inside of it, plenty of foam. It's just the tightness of the duct tape on there made it very, very rigid. I could, you know, it's small, but it's very weighty, and it does not feel good when you get hit by it. And the back here is extremely rigid. I cannot flex that very much at all. And then finally, he sent me this Jolt Shield, which he talked to me about in a Facebook message. Now, this is perfect because he didn't have to do a whole bunch of cosmetic stuff to it, which means I get to do whatever I want to it. It actually works. I will take this Jolt right here, and we will take a dart and stuff it into that dart holder. Now, the idea is that you take a dart, or take a Jolt, which you can put in this holster right here, you pop it in here, then you pull it out, and then sometimes, not all the time, but most of the time when you draw it in, it will vacuum the dart in there. Didn't do that this time. It doesn't do it on normal Jolts quite often, but it still fires perfectly fine. That is a very, very interesting idea. Includes a Jolster down here, one he made himself. It's got a grip, which is not the most structurally secure thing ever. I'll probably have to redo this at some point. The cardboard is very rigid. This thing, I like to break shields. I don't like people who use cardboard shields in wars. And I will warn you that I will probably break your shield because I have a tendency to do that, especially when I get into melee combat against somebody using something like this. This grip would not withstand, but I think I can fix that with some bolts and like some PVC or something like that. The actual shield itself is very rigid, and if I cover this with something like a pillowcase and whatnot and tack it all down, it'll look quite good. This strap system works, although my arm is of course too fat to use this thing. So that is very, very cool. Thank you again, Raspberry James. I'm sorry it took long to get to this point. Speaking of which, I have another blaster here. Let's get this out of the way. This is a Satomi painted Demolisher, a blaster I did not have. This was painted for me by the 100G's Armory, which is a musician that also paints Nerf blasters. They have a very sick looking Joker paint job that I do want to show off. Go check out their channel. This is a painted Demolisher done in the colors that he asked me what I preferred, with some good weathering on there. It looks just like one of the mechs from IGPX. I love it. I'm not sure the absolute, I don't know what that, if that's like their logo or whatnot. I'm not quite sure. I've never seen it before, but it is a very well applied paint job. Everything still works perfectly fine. And thank you for not only giving me a blaster that I did not have, but giving it to me in my favorite colors. So when I decide to mod this thing, it's gonna be awesome because it's already in the perfect colors. So again, that's from the 100G's Armory, and I will put the description for that down in the box below. Now, a quick little break, because I got some things here that aren't necessarily from fans, although I do have more fan mail, starting with a package I got from Japan, which includes the CD, which includes this CD. Why am I showing this off? Because I had no idea this even existed and I had to buy it from Japan. This is Gundam Rock from Andrew WK. And it has all of these songs from the show, such as Gallant Char, which I think they put it as Here Comes Char or Char the Great, Fly Gundam, which is the opening. All of these songs, any of them that include actual lyrics, are all done in English, completely translated and very faithful to the original Japanese. I absolutely love this thing. This is hilarious to me. And if you like Gundam and you like rock and you know of Andrew WK, this is the thing that exists. I got this off Amazon and I absolutely love it. And I just wanted to share that because it was funny. Another thing that I got off the internet, or specifically Amazon. This box is massive, and let's see here, find hobby knife to open this up. This is something that I bought on stream when I was with Captain Xavier and Brett. And, wow. Not quite as cool as I thought it would be. So, the picture on Amazon, oh my god, that's so heavy. Oop, don't hit the camera. Picture on Amazon showed this in a very cool box. This is not in a very cool box, which is slightly disappointing, but this is 1,000,000 Buzby shells and darts. 400 darts apparently, and 300 shells, which 8, 6, do the math. This is more than I will ever need, and it was $50 for all of this, so I should never want for Buzby darts ever again. And if you didn't know, Buzby darts are very good to use in blowguns and whatnot, and I'm looking into trying to get a Buzby torrent so I can realistically use the shells to their maximum effectiveness. This is awesome. $50 for all of this stuff. I thought it was well worth it, and of course now I will never need Buzby darts or shells ever again, period. And it is a block of super heavy stuff. Speaking of which, here's something that's completely different. A very, very light patchment packing thing. This was sent to me by one Jacob. This was sent to the Fuzzy Walrus P.O. box, which you can find down in the description box below, and I'm going to need that. Play it again. Let's see if there's a note. There is. Let's see. Ooh, look at that. Oh, I like what I'm looking at already. Holy crap. I want that. Dear Walcom, hello. I know we spoke briefly on Facebook. Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Jacob. I'm a graduate student from Oregon State University in computer science. I started getting into Nerf when I first came to school and started playing HVZ, and soon after I became a moderator for the game and been doing so for going on 4 years now. We run 2 week-long games and 2 one-day games a year, which are open to the students and public alike. I wish I would have known that. I would have went to one. I'm not very far from you at all. Most recently, I started LARPing at an event called Afterworlds and met Captain Xavier when he chose to join up with my faction. Aha, the circle is complete. This sparked my deeper interest in modding, and my main focus now, but I already spider all the amazing mods I see in the Nerf community. Enclosed is a knockoff Stinger I sent a picture of, and I hope you find a good homes in your collection. I look forward to seeing it done, for what crazy projects you come up with next, and hopefully start making a small portfolio of the things I've done myself. My biggest one so far is a Titan rough cut integration that essentially turns the rough cut into an 8-shot absolver. Picture below. I hope you continue in the hobby and continue to produce amazing mods that can serve as inspiration for many others like me. Signed, Jacob. That is, I want that. Look at that thing. I want that, Jacob. I'm gonna have to make something like that. That is very cool. I think I just found a use for my extra rough cut shell. I'll have to talk to you about that one. And he said a knockoff Stinger. This is identical to the one that I just reviewed. This grip and all this stuff is identical to the Mini Big Shock. It's just the shell is different. And this is even a lower quality shell than the original one. Wow. I mean, like, this is like the knockoff, and this is a knockoff of a knockoff. I wonder if it says Jolt underneath of it. Well, this is kind of molded differently, so I do doubt it. And I already took apart the Big Shock one, and that didn't say it, so I'm going to assume no, but wow. It's another knockoff Jolt to add to the collection. Thank you very much, Jacob. I'm going to have to figure out a loadout to do with all these Jolts. And finally, here is a box I received that I have no idea what it is. None. We will open it to get, oh, I'm seeing darts. Seeing darts and, oh, they're like Steffens. What the heck? Oh, holy crap. Okay, I need the note first. I can't get too excited. Whew. Mr. Walcom, greetings from Tennessee. I stumbled across your videos a couple months ago, and I was watching some Nerf-related content, and I must say that I think you have some wonderful content. Thanks for doing what you do. Well, thank you very much. I originally got into Nerf around the time I graduated college, and it was a hobby that kept me active in tinkering. However, I mostly left the hobby 3 years ago. I would buy some blasters that I thought were neat on occasion, maybe watch Coop or Drac to see what was new. I recently started getting the itch to return the fold. I started trying to watch some of the same old YouTubers, but they just weren't doing it for me. Then I stumbled across your page. I could never reach your level. Trust me, that level is very, very low, man. But my interest has been completely renewed. I only wish now as I could have caught into Boomco from the beginning. Oh, yep, you kind of missed the Boomco train there, buddy, because it's pretty much left the station. You have shown me that there's no longer a Nerf or nothing world. Well, look forward to what Blvd and stuff's coming out with, too, because they have some neat stuff. I've enclosed a few trinkets as tribute. Part of the tribute is some Sludgefire adapter shells. Okay, calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down. Okay. I think it would be neat if you review them and let people know the performance. The 3D printer cells are marked Slug and Mega from Laser Gnomes. Oh, that's something I've wanted for a very long time. And the brass shell is a Southeast Slugger. Both came from eBay, and the Southeast one came with 10 Steffens that I included. Oh, P.S. I also love the Fuse Fire. Picked it up on a lark and accidentally discovered some internal disk storage. It's an excellent little blaster. Thanks for giving it some love. Yep, Fuse Fire is one of my favorite blasters of all time, although that does constantly change. Okay, so I've got a Creo Transformers Micro Changers. I have seen these on Ashens before. Oh, I hope we got RC. Did we get RC? I'm gonna open that up very soon. Okay, this is some big news right here. Oh, can this come out? I would assume this would come out. Does it? Ah, there we go. So this is Mega Slug? Well, they're both, oh, so Slug is one shot, okay. Mega, you put the Mega Dart on the end of that, that makes sense. And then this one is the Southeast Slugger 50 cal. Southeast, that sounds like the Drac and Bobo group. So I'm not sure who made that one. And I know these ones are made from Laser Gnomes, which were the guys who kind of originally did these shells. So yes, I will have a review of those. If the creator of this wants to get in touch with me and let me know who the heck made this. That is some beautiful brass on there. I will definitely get into doing a review on those. And then these cut down Steffens. That's awesome. They're like Zombie Strike accurate darts that are cut down into Steffens. That's great. And then a Boomco, I couldn't remember, Far Shot that I don't have. I don't have this color at all, so thank you very much for sending me this one. Especially since I can never get seem to get enough of these Far Shots for projects and whatnot. Although this one, I obviously can't hurt. So this was all sent to me from Patrick Little. Thank you very much, Patrick, seriously. I don't even know where to begin. I'm gonna be rambling because I'm a little blown away. I wanted these so badly. So very badly, and now I have them. I didn't even know this was a thing. I did know about these. So great, now I have to finish the double rough cut, or the double sludge fire, which has been a project since about a year ago. And just for simplicity's sake, let's see who we got in here. I don't think I'm gonna build this right here, but I do want to see what we got. I want the pink one. I want the pink one. I got the pink one. Ha ha ha! Look at that! How often does that happen? Sweet! Thank you, Patrick! How about that? Ha ha ha! Woo! Well, that's awesome. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you so much. There's nothing else in here. Right on. Well, again, thank you very much for all the stuff, all the loot. I hope you saw something cool today, because I sure as heck had. If you want to send me anything, the link is in the description box of pretty much all of my new videos. So, yeah, if you have something you want me to put on a video, just let me know. I'm Walcom S7's Hands. Thank you very much for watching this video. And of course, I hope to see you in an entirely different one. And stay tuned because, well, the Chimerastrike is almost done. It's literally, the paint is drying right now. In fact, after I shut off this video, I get to go put more paint on it. So.